On the 11th game of Christmas, my true love played with me. Another awesome indie. Welcome back to another 12 games of Christmas. Day 11. We're getting close to the end now. You could say this is the last day, but it's the last day before the last day. Or to go back and circle around to the first episode or two, is this the first day? It's the 12 days of Christmas. So we're on 11, we're almost to 12. Is 12 the first? Depends on which way you're counting from. But we're counting down. We're counting down, starting with Door Kickers Action Squad. Once again, I stumbled and tripped right into an indie classic, a little gem. When I was researching, you could say, games that I might want to play for this series, I told you I was, in the last episode or two, I was looking through the sales, and I was looking with a fresh set of eyes for a little bit more simple games, a little more indie, a little more, well, look at this style. After Broforce, I just kind of got the old, hey, what other good pixely games could there be? And while I was perusing, I also saw this Door Kickers. And I remember another channel that I like to watch because they also make Ghost of Tabor videos and videos on other military, tactical, shooter style, that sort of genre. Not just games, just using military tactics in general. Anyway, channel is called Controlled Pairs. And I'm almost 100% positive they have tweeted about or talked about a game called Door Kickers. And so when I saw the name Door Kickers, it immediately synapses fired and connected those two things. And I was like, oh shit, this might be what they were talking about. Let me look into it. And again, holiday sale 2023, end of the year, PlayStation Store. This game was like $3, $2. And how could you go wrong? It's got online co-op, it's got leaderboards, it's got couch co-op. Now, this first part of the game, I didn't play with couch co-op because I was by myself. Lonely boy during the day. And I played by myself. And then I realized I need my wife to play with me because it's a little difficult. This is a 2D, obviously, but it is definitely a hardcore, think Broforce, think Not a Hero, think any of those, like, run quick, die fast, make choices, shoot stuff, except for in this game, you're kicking in doors. You're a police squad. You are almost the generic, like, action police squad SWAT team. Kicking in doors, rescuing hostages. You know what to do. It's got bosses, it's got leveling up, you've got different perks you can get, you've got like different loadouts you can use, different weapons and stuff to unlock for your guys. And then your guys themselves, characters I should say, are different, I'm failing here. What's it called when you classes? They're classes. That's what it's called. It's a class. You got different classes. You got your breacher, your action guy. You got your shield guy. You got the random chick who got diversity hire. You got the guy who wasn't even supposed to be there. The whole team. And then you just go through these levels that have been created for you and go through these scenarios and kick in doors and breach, and you really do actually end up needing to use like tactics and actual like skills. You can't just run and gun it. You will die. But that being said, it is fucking awesome. It is really fun, and like almost all of these games, has a killer soundtrack. I failed to mention it in a lot of the videos because I forget, but like the music, dude. The music in this one, oh, it's so good. It's like 80s, 90s, Vice City, like, Miami Vice, synthwave, like, it's just got all the beats. And the gameplay is fucking awesome. You got all kinds of mechanics that really work well. It doesn't overdo anything. And it's not too easy or too hard. and it's just like good enough and fun enough that, like I said in previous videos, my wife's not a big pixel game player, but if I can do it right, I can convince her to play some of these games if they're really good, and this is one of them. It also has different modes so you don't get bored. You got your story mode, then they apparently at some point added a zombie mode of the story, which is just the story, but also adds an element of zombies and supernatural to it, makes it obviously more difficult. And then when you level up your characters and you have like nothing left to do, I guess, because it's so easy, there's like an infinity mode that randomly generates seems like it's a skyscraper that just randomly generates and keeps going forever until you die or whatever. But it's really, really hard. It says randomly generated chaos in the description, and you know, I played it for 2 seconds and it was really hard, so that's for later game. But you got plenty of content just in the story itself. So to start out, you know, you just easy peasy, and then it gets increasingly harder like most of these games do. Now, that being said, there's not a lot I can say about this game other than, like I said, I heard about it in the past through another video or another tweet from another channel called Controlled Pairs. I'm almost 100% positive they have talked about this game. I don't know if they have another version of this game that is maybe not 2D or maybe more advanced. I don't know. But like I said in the beginning, scrolling through the PlayStation end of the year and holiday sale games, looking towards more independent style games, small games that might have couch co-op still, I stumbled upon the name that I recognized and I went ahead and went for it because, again, holiday sale. They were like, all these games were like $1, $2, $3, all under $10 for sure. But I think I bought 4 games and spent like $12 to $14. And I bought this one. I bought the game from yesterday, which was Unepic. I bought another game that I haven't done any content on, and I don't know if it's not gonna be tomorrow's video. Day 12 can't be some random ass game, you know? So I have another game that is basically Terraria in space called Far World Pioneers. And then there was another one that was a helicopter game that it was not what I thought it was, and it sucks. But it was only $2, so I'm not gonna cry about it. And then that's it. Doorkickers, Unepic, Far World, and a helicopter game. And 2 of those games made the Christmas list. One of those games probably would have, but it's a big game. That Far World, it's Terraria in space, but also it has like a sim aspect to it of like controlling a population and like having survivors with you and like managing them and building up a city and shit. So I dabbled in it, but it wasn't good enough to make a video yet. So maybe in the future. It has all the like online co-op and stuff, and my son might download it, and if we end up playing it, then I'll probably do something with it. Otherwise, back to Doorkickers Action Squad, day number 11, game number 11, 12 games of Christmas. This game is like high-paced action, but also like slow-paced tactical skill. Like, I said it already, you don't just run and gun. If you run and gun, you're gonna die. But at the same time, sometimes you just gotta like bust in and run in and gun it. But also, you might kill some hostages, and the hostages are important to you getting like your power-ups. You'll see a bar at the top of the screen that fills up with little blue bars and little emblems underneath it. Those are like your power-ups. And as you do things that are good, you get points for that. And as that bar goes up, you can unlock those perks, such as, well, I'll just read them out. It's a shield first. It is, I don't know what the second one is, because the third one's health. Oh, gear. So shield, refill your gear, health. Then you got respawn. A dead character, like if your partner dies, you can respawn them after health. And then you have a extra life, and then you have your like, you get a like super perk, whatever you want to call it, super attack, special attack, and that is the full bar. and then as if you spend it, so whatever you build up to, you spend it after you use it, and you have to keep building it up. But it's based on, in the hostage levels, the hostages give it to you. In the levels that have no hostage, it seems to be based on how well you do and how you kill the enemies. If you do it right, you level up, and you do, like I said, get perks and things like that, and then you just keep going. Keep going and keep redoing it. And since you get your leveling up and your perks and points and whatnot, you just keep getting better as you go, and then it gets easier, But like I said, I played solo first, no big deal. But it is super hard solo, and so I was happy to wait for my wife to get home and then play with her, and we did much better. As you will see, we got farther than I did, but that's the game. And you have several characters, so you can level them up independently. Each one has its own set of, like I said, it's a class, so each one has its own set of skills and whatnot. And then from there, it's just busting down doors, killing bad guys, rescuing hostages. Later, you have bosses, and that's it. Like I said, 3 game modes, 2 story modes. One is basically the same story, but also has zombies in it instead, making it harder. And the other mode is an infinity tower, which is basically randomly generated and meant for you to play when your characters are leveled up and high class. And basically, I would call it the end game, because I played, again, like I said, for 2 seconds and immediately said nope because I died. So there you go. Door Kickers Action Squad. Find it on your PlayStation Network or on your Steam, I assume, and give it a try. It's a really good couch co-op game. This is another one of those games that I wish I had played earlier or knew about earlier, because I'd definitely be playing it. Or, like I've said before, I would take this game back in time and make it, because this game would be freaking awesome back in the fucking 90s and 80s when I was sitting on a Nintendo and then a Super Nintendo. This game would be freaking great. And that is my endorsement. All of these indie games, like I said, almost every game on the list should be able to be found on sale, and on the PlayStation Network especially on sale, with the exception of the VR games, obviously. But all of the other games should be on PlayStation. Most, if not all of them, were part of some kind of end of the year sale or holiday sale, and most, if not all of them, are relatively older games, but still kind of held up, There are plenty of games I could talk about. There are so many new games, newer games that have come out just this year, not this year, that I could talk about. There's so many games I slept on, so many games I didn't buy because I quit playing flat games for a long time. And also, most of the games, while I can give them credit for being good games or talk about the design and all that, they just don't appeal to me. I haven't seen a new game that's came out or coming out that appeals to me at all. The first game this past year that perked up my ears was a game that sounded like something I was trying to design when I first went to school, and I was like, this is what I want to make. But it turned out to be a scam, and when I heard about it and saw it, I was one of the very many actually from the beginning that was like, yeah, this is fake. They're not doing what they say they're doing. This is fake. It was called The Day Before. Most people have heard about it now. But supposed to be like an open world epic zombie multiplayer massive online like DayZ, but with story and Division 2 and DayZ mixed together, I would say. And I was like, nah, that's something's off here. And I was right. It was a scam. But otherwise, no other game has really perked my ears up. I haven't really looked at too much other than VR games. Plenty of VR stuff that is coming out or has come out that I would love to get my hands on or get into, but haven't yet. But as far as like playing on a console, I have not been playing this year, literally in over a year now. The only thing I've been doing is what I've been doing recently. Basically, up until Wizard with a Gun came out in October, I didn't play flat screen games for the whole year. And I've been kind of dabbling again. But that said, I've been dabbling in these kind of games. Like, for some reason, I've just been like checking out these indie games, these older, like, a lot of them actually are older, but these older looking retro style games. Like, I've just been playing more of them, and anything that I can play with my wife, because like because I haven't been playing games on the console. We haven't been playing games together because I'm not playing games. Nothing appeals to me. And then we've been recently playing almost every night one of these games that have been on the list that we played together, and it's been great. It's fun. It's not that I didn't want to. It's just if you know what it feels like to like lose interest in something, or just like be done with things, or get bored or whatever, need a Sabbath, need a sabbatical, whatever it's called, a sabbatical, take a break. If you know what that feels like, you know what I mean. Like, I just didn't want to. It's not that I didn't want to. It was like being depressed when you're like, it's not that I don't want to get out of bed, it's just I don't want to do anything. Well, same thing. It's like, it's not that I don't want to play a game with my wife, it's just like, don't want to play any games, And that changed after Wizard with the Gun came out. And we've been tagging up a bunch of these games, and they're basically going to continue being played. It's just, as always, as soon as I get into something, I start overwhelming myself with, more than just one. It's like, okay, well, now I'm back into making videos for this, making videos for that. I'm playing my VR. I'm playing these games. I'm playing co-op with the wife now. Like, and we've got not just one game. We've got like several options to choose from now. And it's like, it gets, overwhelming as a gamer who has not a whole lot of time to like devote to just like playing games. Like, a lot of these YouTubers out here, they're known for one game, like just DayZ or just PUBG or just one or two things, and then they try to play other things, and or they struggle because they don't think they can play other things, because they're like, oh, I'll lose my audience if I play something different. Well, F that noise. I'm here to tell you, I am like the proto OCD, proto ADD kid from the 80s, man. Before it had names, before it got medicated, we were just into shit. We learned about it, we liked it, we had lots of interest, we were passionate about learning shit, and it was like, oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? Okay, I'm done with it. What's this? Okay, I'm done with it. Oh, that is cool. Let me learn everything about it, and I'm done with it. And that's how it goes. So, I'm very much like that. I get obsessed with things, then I put them down after I have soaked them up. And my wife has it down to a science. She says it's like 3 weeks. If I'm obsessed with something, she's like, all right, well, in 3 weeks, it'll be something different. And she's almost right. But that is something I deal with all the time in pretty much every aspect of my life. So I always either get not enough because I don't want to do anything, or too much because I want to do everything and I've overwhelmed myself. So what was I saying? Door kickers. There you go. Action Squad, day 11, game 11. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, do all those other things. I play lots of games, like I was just saying. I'm all over the place. I don't stick with one thing. I have my favorites. I have things that will always be like a part of something on my channel or whatever that I play or what it make content on. But for the most part, you can't pin me down because I play lots of shit. I got 40 years. Well, I started playing video games when I was like, what, 3 or 4 maybe? Nintendo, Tandy Computer, Rita Rabbit, King's Quest 2, Romancing the Throne. So, pretty early in the mid 80s, I started playing video games. And so I got a long history of playing all kinds of games from a time before games were good, or before we knew what good games were, because we just got what we got. So just like me getting a Christmas present from the bargain bin at Kmart in 1991, you're getting what you get, guys, and this is what you got. So wrap it up. Game 11, Door Kickers, Action Squad, PSN, on sale into the year right now. Even if it's on sale, it's less than like 10 bucks, so suck a dick and go buy it. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. Although I guess you could if you charge money, but anyway, love you guys. See ya on tomorrow's video. All right, Merry Holidays, Happy Chanukah festivals, and love you guys. Bye.